I guess, Coach, going along with that, like we asked the girls, but just it's the first time. I mean, you're training in an active construction zone. What has that been like? But there is a sense of excitement with it.
I shared this with our fans at our first ball party. You know, like literally, our girls are going to be able to tell a story of how this all came together. You know, so we're building Team One. We're building this amazing facility, and it's just an honor, I think, to be a part of all of this. You know, and so, you know, when we actually get to move into our clubhouse, they'll understand the whole process that went into making that, and I don't think it gets any more special than that.
What have the last 18 months been like for you?
A good paced run, if not a sprint, you know, of really just making sure we have the right people in place. You know, my foundation is making sure we have a leadership core that's capable of leading this program over the next few months. I can't be the biggest voice in this program, and so my job is to help our leaders feel empowered and really get us to where we needed to go. And so, you know, obviously a ton of recruiting, a ton of relationship building, and making sure that we have an amazing fan base that wants to come out and support these young women on Saturday.
As you constructed the roster, I think you have like 10 graduates, 2 seniors, and then you have 14 freshmen.
Yeah.
Was there intention on both ends of getting some that you can build with long term, but also having some to be stable from the get-go?
100%, yeah, and that's been the goal all along, is to make sure that we have those players that bring the experience both on and off the field. Like I mentioned, the leadership part of this, I can't teach that, right? That sometimes takes time for people to develop their leadership style, and so we are really intentional with making sure we brought in people that had great leadership qualities that could help us on the field and off the field. And then obviously our freshmen, our first year players, watching and having them learn from that, you know, so as those players roll out of the program, they're ready to take on those roles. It's hard to be a freshman at the Division I level. It's very hard to be a freshman playing in the ACC, the most competitive conference in the country. And so we want our players kind of surrounded by experience that can help them, you know, navigate those tough moments during a game, and also, you know, understand why you have to celebrate the good moments when they happen.
I was just going to ask, I mean, the community is going to be out here. I mean, I know we've talked about it a couple of times, but I mean, just like, what can the community expect when they come out and see Florida State women's lacrosse for the first time?
Yeah, so women's lacrosse, I think, is one of the most exciting games to watch. You're going to get a high-scoring game, high pace. We've got a shot clock in place, and so you're going to see a lot of up-and-down action. Our women are incredibly tough. They train at a very high level every single day, and so I think fans are going to fall in love with this game. They're going to fall in love with the passion that our roster brings to this game too, and so we hope to have an engaged fan base and people that are helping us create a really big home field advantage.
Coach, you talked about getting the girls here. What was the recruiting pitch like?
Sure.
We don't have a field, we don't have a stadium, it's a brand new. What did you tell them in those 18 months?
You know, I think for us, it's building on what Florida State is. Florida State is a wonderful and strong academic institution. So our young women are leaving here with a degree that's going to propel them forward in whatever career field they choose. And then also looking and saying, hey, if you think about all of the success, especially that our women's programs have had, if you look at the success of soccer and softball and beach volleyball, and think about that, that means something must be going really, really right here, right? That we've got the supports, both from a funding perspective, a personnel perspective, a facility perspective, right? It's not just one program being successful here. And so when we've said that to young women, look around, pay attention, see who else is being successful. You know, do we have the resources to build lacrosse in that same way? Obviously, a lot of people found that answer to be yes. And once they got here and they met the people and they saw what was going on here, it became an obvious thing for them to know that we had everything in place that we would be successful too. Even though, like you said, the first couple months of the program, it was myself and Coach Pulaski, right? In an office that has, you know, temporary walls, a couple graphics on the wall, and we said, believe in this vision that we're trying to build and be a part of it. And the young women here wanted to be a part of something really special.
This isn't your first time doing this, starting a program and such.
Sure.
What have you learned from past experiences?
Yeah, I think it's I mentioned it earlier, and so a little broken record here, but it's the leadership component, right? I think when I first started and I built some of those earlier programs, I thought I could supplement the leadership. I could supplement what we didn't lack in experience, I could bring as a head coach. And what I really learned along the way was it has to come from the players. And so we have preached since day one here that this will be a player-led team, and my job is to give them every resource, help them navigate every situation, and really put them forward in a position to be successful as leaders. And I know that my voice is the one that supports theirs, and then they are in charge of their entire team.
You like the group you put together in that regard?
Yeah, I think we've developed, I love to have fun, right? I love to joke. Sometimes my jokes don't always land, right? And so for us, I think it's really just kind of building that chemistry as a unit, you know, and trusting each other. This is no different than a family, right? At the end of the day, you always got to love each other. There might be moments of disagreement. We might always see eye to eye, but we know at the end of the day, we're all here for that same common goal. And this group is a lot of fun to coach. They're like sponges. They soak up everything we have every single day. And they really come hard and they work, you know, to get the job done. We've set that goal of being one of the top 8 teams in the ACC. They know that's not an easy goal, but they're ready for the task at hand.